At the start of the First World War, the French were still using quite elaborate uniforms. The boots on this one, they're the hobnail boots from the 1950s, but everything else on here is original from World War One. The leather gaiters, they're original. I got those off the French eBay. Then we have the Lebel rifle. That's the 1886 model in 8mm. It has an 8-round magazine, and the magazine is a metal tube fastened to the bottom of the barrel and runs the full length of the barrel, and the bullets have to be put in one at a time. Then we've got the trousers, the bright red trousers, just what you need for modern warfare. Then the greatcoat. The French would always button back the front of the greatcoat to that distinctive style. This particular jacket, I think it's an officer's one. When it came, it had the brass buttons for an officer, which I've replaced with just ordinary infantry ones. And it's also got a breast pocket on the outside, which the infantry wouldn't have had. And the liner, that's quite a bit more of a better quality liner than the infantry would have had. And on the red patch on the collar, they should have the regimental numbers on, but it didn't come with any of that. Then you've got the white haversack for carrying some of the personal items. And the leather equipment, that would have been black at the start of the war. Later on, they would change it to light brown. They'd have 3 ammunition pouches, 2 at the front and 1 at the back, all the same. And then the belt was fastened with this large square piece of brass. Looking at the bayonet, if you'll notice the hook quilling on the side, that was from the days of when they used to face cavalry. The idea of that was, when they were being attacked, the soldier would hold up his rifle, and as the sword of the cavalryman came down, hopefully it would slide along the bayonet and get locked onto the hook. But because the cavalry wasn't used very much, they didn't need that. And it did become a bit of a hindrance because it used to get tangled in the barbed wire, so they would quite often cut that off. And any bayonets made during the war wouldn't have that on at all. Going up to the top, we have the hat, the kepi, in bright red. You can just imagine sticking your head out of the parapet of a trench with that on. So at first they just used dark blue cloth covers to cover to camouflage it a bit. And then they did experiment at one time. They had these steel bowl-shaped piece of metal they would just stick on top of your head and then put the cap on top. But that wasn't very successful, so by 1915 the steel helmets were introduced. Here we have the other ammunition pouch, exactly the same as the ones at the front. Then you have another look at the hook quilling on the bayonet. Then we have the 2-litre water canteen. They would always carry the metal cup fastened to it with a bit of string like that. Now the large spout, that's how they filled it up. Then the narrow spout with the wooden pegging, that's where they used to drink out of. Now, as I've said before, apart from the boots, all this is original, and apart from the bayonet, it all came off the French eBay. But that was before the days of Brexit. I'd never had any problems with that, and the postage was really reasonable. But then since then, now you have to pay VAT on the item, and a excise duty and a Royal Mail handling fee, so it all becomes a bit expensive now. And a lot of the French sellers, they don't want to bother with all them either, which don't blame them. So I was very lucky to get it at the time, so there we go.